circuitbreaker.com. Hey guys, this is the following is a LinkedIn Live video that I just did recently, and I'm gonna put this addendum on there because it just occurred to me. I talked about the inflation rate in this video, and the reason why the inflation rate has to go up continually is because everything is in lockdown. When everybody is worried about how much they can make, they're trying to draw money towards each other, right? So everybody is keeping money to themselves and not investing in each other, which means that is everybody sucking off of each other and trying to put money in their own pockets instead of working collaboratively together, then you have to keep increasing the amount of money that comes into the economy. So the inflation rate goes up and homelessness gets worse and worse and worse because the people with no money have no way to get it. So unless people start working collaboratively together, then this is going to get worse and worse and worse. If all of you are trying to sell services to each other, it's not going to get better. It's just going to get worse. Thanks for watching. Hey, I'm live now. It shows that I got an indication on my phone. It says I went live. So I just got out of an interesting meeting this morning. Robert Fritz was talking about structure. And so, I
Happy Friday.
label myself as a business structure expert. Not only that, but a personal structure expert. And it's my job, I feel, and as a member of the body, right? We're all members of the same body to support the body, right? I mean, when you think about your business and what you're doing, if you're not supporting the body, then ask yourself, what are you doing, right? Is your work fulfilling? How are you supporting? What are you creating? Is what are you creating? Is it helping the body or is it not helping the body? Because if the body's not being helped, it's not growing, right? So I got the trees in the background here. And as you move forward, you start to unlock parts of your personality, and so I got to think about my darker aspects. And so in a lot of ways, I don't, I stand up here and I say, love and faith and all that stuff. And I worked on that yesterday. But at the same time, I have to let people know where my boundaries are. And so, the business community is breaking down on a whole. I don't think there's any question about that, right? I mean, all of us can see it from the outside and you can feel it energetically. There's more and more tension in the business environment. As inflation goes up, there's going to be more and more tension because it's harder to move energy between individuals and businesses. That's just the fact of life. You cannot get away from that fact as inflation moves up. You're creating more restriction to move energy between two people or two businesses, two entities. Now, where is the commonality? Where is the problem of why that's happening? How do we solve that? Well, I've been teaching on this solution for a while now. For one thing, if somebody comes to me, and this is where judgment and staying out of non-judgment comes into play, and this might be something hard for you guys to accept, but I want you to think about it this weekend, is if I came to you and I said, hey, I have a product that I need to, I believe that you need. And then I say, here, this is what I'm offering. This is what I think it's worth. And I'm selling it to you. I'm trying to pull energy off my environment, right? I'm not in the mindset of I'm providing something for you. Now you could say, well, yeah, I'm providing something to you and I'm exchanging currency. The problem with that is that I am making a judgment that the relationship that I am engaged in with you, I am more important. What I have to offer is more important than what you have to offer me, right? I have to make that judgment if I am going to take money from you. Now you might say, well, what you have to offer obviously is just as good. Why don't we work together, right? So working together, if all of us started working together and gave each other equal value, as long as we were in the right setting, some people might not be aware of their value, right? Some people might still want to take from their environment. So you still have to have a system in place to make sure that you can eradicate loose radicals, if that makes sense, right? Your body works that way. If you have something that's dangerous to the body, you need a way to exit it out of the body, right? All you have to do is have a system and a structure in place to do that. And so what we're going to see in society, and you guys can like this or not like this, is you're going to have to get to a place where you stop selling and start collaborating and helping each other and providing for each other, right? That's the energetic way that you are supported. If I support you, then I get supported back. You don't get to take first and then try to provide some kind of outcome for somebody, because now you've kind of taken your role out of that situation. For example, if you say, well, we need $1,000 up front, and then we can work on a commission basis. So it's like, well, how do I know that you're even going to provide any service after I give you that $1,000? Everything is collaborative, right? We're all working together. And so that's kind of this is something that I wasn't really aware of, and something that I hadn't thought of is like, why is the statement in the Bible and money is the root of all evil? And to be perfectly honest, I don't believe in evil. I believe that everything is an awareness that is growing. And if you look at everything objectively, that's what it is. We're all coming into higher states of awareness, and we're moving more information and energy in the body. But money creates the idea that, because you have to make a judgment whenever you use money. For one thing, you're taking your support, you're taking something external and saying that is how you're providing for yourself, instead of saying, your provision is here, I am source. You're taking source outside of yourself. And so it's two modes of thinking. When you look at a diagram, and this is how reality works, so money is natural. Money is a natural state of evolution, because something has to pull you away from source, or else if everything's connected to source from the beginning, there is no reality, if that makes sense. So when you look at a picture of the galaxy, right, there has to be an opposing force pulling you away from the center as you're moving towards the center, or there wouldn't be cycles of growth over time. There has to be an opposing force. And so that's why there's a plus and a negative, the yin and yang of the universe, right? There's always an opposing force or an opposite end of the coin. There's always somebody trying to take and always somebody trying to provide. And so what we're moving towards on an evolutionary state is learning to say that I am the source and I will provide for you, and then I'll leave it up to the universe at large as how I receive, because I already know energetically that as long as I'm providing positive energy for you and my environment, that I'll be supplied, that I will be taken care of. Because all of your family, right? I just saw a post by Carrie Huntington. I really admire her. She's awesome. Another healer of mine. I love your work. If you're watching this. What the definition of family is, right? Because how you define family will determine, especially in our monetary environment, how you interact with other people, right? I mean, because you're dissecting your week and day depending on how you view family. Because family, you're going to input your energy for what you would say for free, but the reality is you're listening and providing for those people in your environment. Well, what makes the larger world any different? If I don't view you as family, then I am ignoring the ultimate reality, which is we are just in a giant field of consciousness, and that we are growing as a community. So eventually the idea of money will go away once people realize that I need to work collaboratively. And we could change this place overnight if all we did was just start to work together in mutual and equal incentive groups under the right contract and the right provisions, to make sure that we're all held accountable. And if we're not being, and we're held accountable by our peers, not by some other person, the immediate people that we're working with, we're held accountable to, and we should, right? To make sure that we're all getting up at the same time and we're taking care of our tasks. And we could change this world overnight. We could be the stars in 10 years or less. Undoubtedly. But, yeah. So, I'm going to let you guys think about that over this weekend. I made a couple of posts in my YouTube videos about the Kung Fu Hustle. Kung Fu Hustle is a really interesting movie. If you guys haven't seen it, I love Kung Fu Hustle. It's, yeah, Jenny. Hey, thanks for popping in. The greater good, right? You're always providing for your environment, right? Hope you have a wonderful weekend, Jenny. I haven't seen many of your posts lately. Maybe I'm not really catching up on them. I'm sorry. LinkedIn's been acting really weird lately, and I've seen other people talking about it. Well, some of our posts aren't being displayed correctly. Anyway, Tulip Mania. To me, it's the same. I'm not sure what Tulip Mania is. But yeah, your energy. So money is the concept that I need to energetically pull from you in order to provide for myself, when I won't be taken care of if I provide for you, period. It's the concept of I am the source versus the source is what I can get from you, if that makes sense, right? So, I mean, that's a reason why I've never really saved money. Now you might ask, okay, well, how do you live? How do you get by? Well, I'm always taken care of. Usually I'm offered money for a service that I provide later, right? Holland has a boom market on tulip bulbs. Oh, huh. So yeah, are they giving away tulips for free then? Because, are they using tulips as money? I should invite you to a Zoom, and we could just Zoom this and we can just talk live. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys think about this for the weekend. Think about how you can collaboratively work with other people, right? That's the bottom line, is because the more people that you can work collaboratively with and start to create as a group in a really healthy atmosphere, just start creating. You don't need capital. All you have to do is start creating. And I've thought about what kind of projects Oh, okay. Hundreds of years ago, they were worth hundreds of dollars. Right on. Catch up with me later, Jenny. I'd love to just chat. Yeah. So think about what would you create? Now the thing that I'm thinking about creating right at present is I've thought about just going around and talking to homeless people and letting them know that all they got to do is start serving one another, right? There's so much dysfunction as far as people understanding that at just a base level. All you have to do is put your energy into each other, and yeah, I'd love to meet up, and you'll be supported, right? But everybody's in this feeling like they need to, especially homeless, you're in fear of your external environment. And when you're in fear of your external environment, then you feel like you need to protect yourself and feed off of it. It's just a basic animal instinct. It's that beast nature, right? We're all overcoming the beast nature to make sure that we understand that we are the source and that we're not pulling off of each other. Love you guys. Have a great weekend. And I hope to maybe let more of my shadow side out next week. But I really appreciate you guys. It doesn't matter what state of consciousness we're in, we're all growing together, right? And I'm open to disagreements. I love disagreements. See you guys. Have a wonderful weekend.